Senator Amy Klobuchar likes to say, you know, there was no long line for our veterans when they were volunteering to serve our country. There should be no line for them when they're seeking services, when they're seeking housing, when they're seeking employment. And we need to do everything that we can to support them.
St. Paul Mayor Chris Coleman, Minneapolis Mayor Betsy Hodges, and State Director to Prevent and End Homelessness, Kathy Tenbrook, have announced that they are partnering together to finish the job of ending veteran homelessness in Minneapolis and Saint Paul by 2015.
So my plan is to bring all of the partners that we saw here today and other partners in the community who are working on this issue all together in the coming weeks. And together we're going to set sort of a collective path for how we're going to address the remaining barriers that veterans are facing and really try to, on a veteran by veteran basis, remove those barriers and see if we can collectively come up with the ways of ending homelessness for all veterans.
I think it's especially important that Minneapolis and Saint Paul work together, that Hennepin County and Ramsey County work together. We don't compete with one another, we work with one another. And if we both do well, we have a much stronger region that's good for both of us.
When you've served our country, you deserve better than to be on the streets of our cities. And so we've seen that it's possible to end veteran homelessness in the community. We saw it in Salt Lake, we saw it in Phoenix. We can certainly see that happen in St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Veteran Scott Roberts was also invited to tell his story.
Less than a year ago, I was homeless. And through the efforts of MACV, is where it all started for me, Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans, I was able to contact a man by the name of Joe Wittenberg, who brought me down here for an appointment. And through MACV, I'm now not homeless.
So because of all of you, we are at this point. We can see the end of homelessness for veterans in our community. In December, the 11 commissioners of the Minnesota Interagency Council on Homelessness and the governor's office, they came together and they publicly adopted and announced the release of the new state plan to prevent and end homelessness in Minnesota called Heading Home. And in this plan, we make it a very clear priority to, quote, finish the job of ending veterans' homelessness by 2015.
And in achieving our goal for our veterans, which we need to do, we can create hope for all of our families and all the people that are on the streets in the Twin Cities. It isn't hard to understand on a day like today or the weather that we've had the last couple of weeks why this is not just a matter of conscience, it's a crisis. We cannot have people living on the streets of our cities. It is wrong. We're better than that. And we have the partnerships and the possibilities to end homelessness. But today we announce that we will end homelessness for our veterans by 2015, and we're going to work together to make sure that that happens. And the St. Paul, Minneapolis area will be the next region behind Salt Lake and Phoenix to solve this crisis for their homeless vets. And we're not going to settle for anything less than an elimination of homelessness for our vets.
Because there is hope. It seems hopeless when you're living in your car and it's cold outside, but with the resources available, there's everything's possible.